The First Ladies of America have frequently enthralled the country with their timeless beauty and charm through their elegant public appearances and famous dress choices. These extraordinary ladies made a lasting impression as fashion stars of their era and played crucial roles in forming the nation. However, which First Ladies were the most attractive? The ranks could surprise you. From Michelle Obama's contemporary sophistication to Jackie Kennedy's graceful composure, come see how the most beautiful First Ladies in American history enthralled a country with their beauty and personality. Number 33. Mamie Eisenhower. Mamie Eisenhower's upbeat attitude and distinctive flair uniquely appealed to the White House. Often referred to as Mamie Pink, she is well known for her love of pink. She created waves with her fashion choices, including her signature bangs and off-the-rack ensembles, demonstrating her taste for elegance yet functionality. Mamie won over the public with her warmth and relatability, even though she didn't take office until she was in her mid-50s. During a post-war rebuilding period, her strong interest in home economics pushed her for ingenuity and frugality. In addition, Mamie was a proud hostess who planned many memorable White House events. Number 32. Grace Coolidge. Grace Coolidge's vibrant personality and inherent beauty illuminated any space she walked into. Her bright smile and sparkling blue eyes frequently enthralled others around her. She added glitz and charm to the White House as First Lady, and her exuberance counterbalanced her husband Calvin Coolidge's more subdued demeanor. Grace was well known for her ability to engage the crowd and her excellent sense of style. Her early employment as a teacher in a school for the hearing impaired inspired her advocacy of causes about the education of the deaf. She also won over sports fans nationwide with her passion for baseball and regular game appearances. Number 31. Leticia Tyler. President John Tyler's first wife, Leticia Tyler, was a woman of quiet strength and unflinching commitment. As First Lady, Leticia supported her husband and family despite serious health issues. Known for her altruism and strong religious beliefs, she frequently worked behind the scenes to help those in need while contributing to philanthropic projects, including hospitals and orphanages. She passed away too soon to serve as First Lady, but her reputation as a graceful, strong, and quietly influential woman lives on. Despite facing personal hardship, Leticia's life is a tribute to the strength of service. Number 30. Louisa Adams. As the first foreign-born First Lady, Louisa Adams brought a unique perspective and elegance to her position. She used her European upbringing to promote peace and overcome cultural gaps. She was born in England. With her exceptional musical ability and excellent education, Louisa frequently played the harp at White House functions. Her ability to interact with people was crucial when she hosted political leaders, reducing tensions when partisanship was rising. Beyond her charisma, she supported humanitarian programs that helped the poor and fought for women's education. Additionally, she maintained thorough diaries that offered priceless insights into her life and the political environment of the day. Louisa persevered in her responsibilities in the face of personal hardships, such as recurring health problems and political unrest, and she gained respect and admiration for it. Her legacy as a leader infusing compassion, culture, and intelligence endures. Number 29. Bess Truman. Bess Truman's quiet strength and grounded demeanor were defining characteristics of her time as First Lady. Bess, known for her direct style, avoided the spotlight and instead supported her husband, President Harry Truman, during some of the most trying times in American history, such as the end of World War II. She was known for her frugal management of the White House, which reflected her pragmatic Midwestern upbringing, and she was frequently spotted volunteering locally. Bess was naturally reticent, but she was an essential confidant to her husband, offering advice when things got tough. Her letters to Harry Truman demonstrate their close relationship and her influence behind the scenes. In contrast to the more glitzy First Ladies who came before her, Bess's dedication to family, community, and simplicity had a lasting effect. Her ability to remain genuine and dignified in such a prominent position never ceases to amaze. Number 28. Lucy Hayes. Known as Lemonade Lucy, Lucy Hayes was a trailblazing First Lady who was well known for her innovative work in education and her support of temperance. Being the first First Lady to get a college degree, she used her knowledge and position to advocate for women's education because she saw it as essential to advancement. She received both praise and condemnation for her ardent support of the temperance movement, which promoted abstinence of alcohol, but she never wavered in her convictions. Lucy's humanitarian activities demonstrated her compassion by contacting hospitals, orphans, and veterans. Additionally, she started a tradition that is still followed today by introducing the first Easter egg roll on the White House lawn. Lucy Hayes stood out as a progressive figure in her day because of her contributions to women's higher education and her active participation in social causes. Her reputation as one of the most significant First Ladies was solidified by her combination of action, compassion, and intelligence. Number 27. Martha Washington. As the first First Lady of the United States, Martha Washington established a model of poise and leadership that would impact future generations. Known as Lady Washington, she skillfully juggled her roles as a national matriarch and a devoted wife when her husband, George Washington, was president. According to reconstructed images, Martha was a stunningly beautiful young woman despite her later portrayal as matronly. She was well known for her hospitality and organized weekly receptions, or levees, which developed into crucial events for the political elite of the new country. In addition to her civic responsibilities, Martha was actively involved in gathering supplies, knitting socks, and assisting Revolutionary War soldiers. She gained great respect for her fortitude, dignity, and capacity to handle the demands of public life. One of the most important aspects of American history is Martha Washington's legacy as a representation of the nation's founding period. Number 26. Florence Harding. As First Lady, Florence Harding embodied a progressive spirit and a burning drive. Known as the Duchess due to her assertive nature, Florence fervently supported veterans' rights, pushing for improved employment and health care. She was also a strong advocate for women's rights, utilizing her position to assist the suffrage movement and push for increased female political participation. Florence frequently collaborated with groups advocating humane treatment because she cared for animal welfare. She also revolutionized the First Lady's role by actively interacting with the media and utilizing her voice to sway public opinion. Florence's legacy is still linked to her unwavering advocacy and humanitarian efforts, even in the face of her husband, Warren G. Harding's scandal-plagued presidency. She was one of the most active First Ladies of her day because of her unwavering commitment to veterans and underrepresented communities. Number 25. Julia Gardner Tyler. Julia Gardner Tyler gained prominence in White House social circles by captivating Washington with her beauty, charm, and lively attitude. As a fervent advocate for the arts, she regularly arranged plays and musicals, transforming the White House into a center of culture while in office. Beyond her reputation as an entertainer, Julia strongly supported women's rights and education, among other philanthropic causes. Her ability to throw sophisticated social gatherings improved the reputation of her husband, John Tyler, and strengthened his political connections. Julia defied the standards of a First Lady in her day by remaining unrepentant and self-assured in the face of criticism for her outspoken demeanor. She contributed significantly to the development of Washington's thriving cultural scene and left a legacy of grace, wisdom, and patriotism. Number 24. Mary Todd Lincoln. During one of the darkest times in the country's history, Mary Todd Lincoln's steadfast support for her family and profound empathy for others were hallmarks of her time as First Lady. During the Civil War, Mary, the wife of President Abraham Lincoln, was instrumental in maintaining morale by spending time visiting hospitals, collecting money for troops, and providing for their families. She also played a significant role in the White House's renovations, which increased its historical and cultural relevance. Mary was admired by many for her extraordinary fortitude in the face of personal tragedy, such as the death of her kids. Her dedication to charitable endeavors, such as supporting hospitals and orphanages, had a profound influence. Despite being criticized for her lavish expenditures, she is now generally revered for the services she made to the country during a period of intense conflict. Number 23. Sarah Polk. Sarah Polk was a significant figure in the middle of the 19th century because of her brilliance and dedication to her position as First Lady. She was renowned for her effectiveness and skillfully oversaw the White House staff, fostering a friendly and orderly atmosphere. Sarah was her husband's close confidant, offering advice on speeches and policy issues despite her avoidance of direct participation in political battles. Her strong moral principles were reflected in her significant dedication to charity causes, especially those about religious and educational institutions. Sarah was a legendary hostess, and her parties were acclaimed for their elegance and sophistication. Her composed manner and unwavering commitment to her responsibilities throughout her tenure elevated the First Lady's position. She's left a history of service and devotion to her nation and continues to symbolize power, wisdom, and quiet influence. Number 22. Ellen Wilson. Ellen Wilson was a visionary First Lady who significantly contributed to urban change by using her position to solve critical social issues. Ellen was a talented artist who advocated for improved living circumstances for the impoverished in Washington, D.C., by fusing her artistic abilities with her charitable nature. The Alley Dwelling Authority, a groundbreaking project aiming at establishing safe and hygienic housing, was established due to her efforts to reform slum living. Ellen also prioritized education and the arts, fighting for all Americans to access educational opportunities and cultural enrichment. Ellen's campaign for social welfare and urban betterment created a lasting impression despite her brief reign owing to her tragic demise. Efforts to alleviate urban poverty and advance social justice are still motivated by her reputation as a kind reformer and champion for the marginalized. Number 21. Angelica Van Buren. During her father, Martin Van Buren's presidency, Angelica Van Buren was a charming and elegant First Lady. Instead of her ailing mother-in-law, Angelica hosted unforgettable events that promoted kindness and diplomacy by utilizing her attractiveness and social abilities. She supported improving social conditions and advocated for women's welfare and education. She became a respected figure in Washington society due to her composure and grace. She had an effect that lasted. Angelica set a high bar for succeeding First Ladies with her ability to combine charisma and effective lobbying, which improved her term. Her commitment to her responsibilities and powerful personality are still recognized. Number 20. Dr. Jill Biden. As First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden has given her position a contemporary and vibrant feel. As the first educator to continue teaching while in the White House, she created history. Her commitment to the Joining Forces initiative, which supports military families, and her support of community colleges demonstrate her love for education. Beyond her career pursuits, Jill has gained a lot of followers due to her friendliness and warmth. Reflecting on her own experiences as a military mother and cancer advocate, she's juggled her responsibilities with a strong dedication to causes like cancer research and veterans care. Her tenure is characterized by an active leadership style, with empathy and education as the pillars of her impact. Number 19. Frances Cleveland. At 21, Frances Cleveland became the youngest First Lady in history, captivating the country. She organized exciting social events and readily accepted her responsibilities, bringing fresh vitality to the White House with her youthful charm and energy. Frances influenced positive change by supporting philanthropic causes, including women's welfare and education. Her public popularity was unparalleled, and her grace became a hallmark of her term. Frances is still regarded as legendary because of her commitment to social concerns and vibrant presence. Number 18. Lady Bird Johnson. With her emphasis on public service and environmental beautification, Lady Bird Johnson brought a new viewpoint to the First Ladyship. By enhancing the country's natural surroundings, her beautification campaign aimed to eliminate the American spirit and was not simply about aesthetics. She oversaw the transformation of highways into picturesque lanes and the planting of millions of trees and flowers. A historic accomplishment, the Highway Beautification Act restricted billboards and guaranteed the preservation of public areas. In addition to her efforts in the environment, Lady Bird was a fervent supporter of education, having backed the Head Start program to provide underprivileged kids a strong start in life. Her work left a dynamic legacy still valued today by skillfully fusing social responsibility with environmental awareness. Number 17. Ida McKinley. Despite experiencing serious personal health issues, Ida McKinley demonstrated compassion and tenacity while serving as First Lady. Her commitment to philanthropic endeavors, including aiding hospitals and orphanages, demonstrated her profound care for the welfare of others. Despite frequently working in the background, Ida made a significant impression with her quiet strength and dedication. She gained great respect and affection for her capacity to endure hardship and support humanitarian causes. Ida left behind a legacy of strength and unselfish service, proving that effective leadership frequently occurs in the background. Number 16. Helen Nelly Taft. During her time as First Lady, Helen Nelly Taft changed the social and cultural climate in Washington, D.C. She strongly advocated for the arts, culture, and public health. She played a key role in planting the famous cherry blossom trees that today characterize the nation's capital. A groundbreaking effort to enhance child welfare, the Children's Bureau was established due to Nelly's efforts. Her commitment to improving public areas and advancing social justice left a lasting impact. Nelly's term is seen as a combination of significant reform and cultural enhancement, solidifying her status as one of the most influential First Ladies in the country. Number 15. Edith Wilson. Edith Wilson was well known for her commitment to charity organizations and her steadfast support of her husband. In addition to her involvement with the Red Cross during World War I and her support of numerous social welfare projects, Edith was instrumental in preserving the White House and its historical value. She was a well-liked and respected First Lady because of her commitment to social causes and her steadfast husband's support. Her contributions during the conflict were especially noteworthy. Her influence on social welfare was long-lasting. Edith Wilson's reign was distinguished by her support of the Red Cross and social welfare initiatives. She was instrumental in keeping the White House intact. Number 14. Jane Irwin Harrison. Because her mother-in-law was ill, Jane Irwin Harrison, William Henry Harrison's daughter-in-law, took over as First Lady. She hosted numerous spectacular parties and was well known for her beauty, charisma, and exceptional social abilities. Jane advocated for women's welfare and education, among other social causes. She was a well-liked and respected First Lady because of her poise and commitment to her role. She made a substantial contribution to social concerns. She is still regarded with admiration. Jane Irwin Harrison's tenure was distinguished by her charisma and advocacy for women's rights and education. She gracefully hosted several prosperous social gatherings. Number 13. Harriet Lane. Because her uncle was a bachelor, Harriet Lane, a niece of James Buchanan, held the position of First Lady. She hosted numerous spectacular parties and was well known for her beauty, charisma, and exceptional social abilities. Harriet advocated for women's welfare and education, among other social causes. She was a well-liked and respected First Lady because of her poise and commitment to her role. She had a significant cultural impact. People still have positive memories of her. Harriet Lane's tenure was distinguished by her charisma and advocacy for women's rights and education. She gracefully hosted several prosperous social gatherings. Elizabeth Monroe. Elizabeth Monroe was renowned for her grace and charisma, which she employed to organize several prosperous social gatherings. She advocated for women's welfare and education, among other altruistic causes. The White House and its historical significance were also preserved, thanks mainly to Elizabeth. She was adored as First Lady because of her poise and commitment to her role. Her preservation work was very noteworthy. She left a legacy of grace and service that endures. Elizabeth Monroe's tenure was distinguished by her charisma and advocacy for women's rights and education. She was instrumental in keeping the White House intact. Number 11. Dolly Madison. Dolly Madison's charm, bravery, and diplomatic skills established the benchmark for the First Lady position. She fostered a social atmosphere that promoted cooperation across political boundaries and is well known for her renowned White House events. Her place in history was cemented by her valor during the War of 1812, when she rescued George Washington's painting before the White House's burning. In addition to her valiant deeds, Dolly had a significant role in establishing Washington's political and social landscape, making the capital a hub for the nascent democracy. Her enduring impact is evidence of her brilliance, charisma, and unshakable dedication to the country. Number 10. Michelle Obama. What it meant to be a contemporary First Lady was redefined by Michelle Obama. She was well known for her wit, flair, and warmth, and she gave the part a genuineness that appealed to all age groups. Her programs such as Let's Move addressed childhood obesity and encouraged healthy eating, and Reach Higher pushed for youth to pursue higher education. Michelle was a Harvard-trained lawyer who used her position to engage people on a human level by fusing intelligence and charm. She's also praised for her immaculate sense of style, making her a global style hero by combining high fashion with affordability. Michelle continues to inspire with her talks, including her 2016 Democratic National Convention address. Above all, she embodied the principles of inclusivity, friendliness, and family, making the White House feel warm and inviting for the American people. Number 9. Rosalynn Carter. As First Lady, Rosalynn Carter elevated her activism to a new level by focusing on human rights and mental health reform. She played a key role in developing laws to increase access to mental health services while serving as honorary chair of the President's Commission on Mental Health. Additionally, Rosalynn promoted caregiving by acknowledging the frequently disregarded difficulties faced by family caregivers and fighting for their assistance. Through the Carter Center, which she co-founded with her husband and which focuses on reducing poverty, promoting democracy, and eliminating diseases like guinea worm, her influence was felt all over the world. Her work bridges the gap between compassionate action and public policy, embodying a lifetime of service. Number 8. Jackie Kennedy Onassis. Jackie Kennedy Onassis's cultural vision and refinement enthralled the world. As First Lady, she painstakingly repaired the White House, making it a sophisticated representation of American history. Jackie's dedication to openness and education was demonstrated by her broadcast tour of the White House, which allowed millions of people to learn about history. To ensure the preservation of national treasures, she founded the White House Historical Association out of her love for the arts. Jackie remained a rock of grace in the face of her husband's horrific murder, concentrating on raising her kids before going on to help with publishing and historic preservation. Her unmatched impact on culture and tradition is reflected in her enduring legacy. Number 7. Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's active participation in policymaking and support of social causes revolutionized the First Lady's role. Because of her emphasis on healthcare reform, the Children's Health Insurance Program, or CHIP, was established, giving millions of kids access to reasonably priced medical care. Hillary also strongly supported education, leading campaigns to enhance school preparedness and encourage lifelong learning. She adopted a global perspective, advocating for women's rights and tackling global health issues. She gained domestic and international recognition for her wit, fortitude, and commitment to public service. Hillary's reputation as a revolutionary First Lady was cemented by her ability to handle challenging political situations while keeping an eye on the welfare and education of children. Her ongoing public service motivates numerous people to participate in significant societal change. Number 6. Barbara Bush. Barbara Bush was a First Lady who had a significant influence. She was renowned for her abiding compassion and quick humor. Barbara frequently joked that she married the only man she ever kissed, and she was married to George H.W. Bush soon after they met in college. Her passionate allegiance and strong convictions were as noticeable as her loving, maternal manner. As a pillar of her work, Barbara promoted literacy and founded the Barbara Bush Foundation for Family Literacy, which has benefited innumerable families nationwide. Her legacy as both mother and wife to American presidents continues to be unique. Her stylish yet practical presence added grace and relatability to the White House. Barbara Bush exhibited a genuine, ageless charm that still makes her appealing to Americans today, whether welcoming foreign leaders or providing consolation to needy families. Number 5. Nancy Reagan. Nancy Reagan became one of the most influential people of her era by assuming the position of First Lady with grace and passion. Nancy, who gained notoriety for her Just Say No campaign, fought drug misuse head-on and concentrated on teaching young people about the risks of addiction. Millions were impacted by her campaign, which raised awareness and motivated community initiatives nationwide. In addition to her anti-drug campaigns, Nancy was an outspoken advocate for veterans, pushing for improved employment and healthcare prospects for those who served. She also supported the arts because she understood their importance to American society. Nancy altered the ideal of a contemporary First Lady by balancing style and advocacy with her poised demeanor. Her steadfast dedication to social causes, especially substance misuse prevention, is part of her legacy and remains a pillar of her influence on American culture. Number 4. Melania Trump. Melania Trump's Be Best campaign, which prioritizes children's welfare, internet safety, and anti-cyberbullying initiatives, left a lasting impression throughout her tenure as First Lady. Her tenure was distinguished by her dedication to enhancing the health and education of children, and the program's broad reach assisted in addressing essential concerns that today's youth face. Melania, known for her grace and elegance, redefined modern grace in the White House by balancing activism and a polished public persona. Her efforts also included advancing social concerns and aiding nonprofits. Melania has left a distinctive mark on her position as First Lady through her advocacy, compassion, and sense of style. Number 3. Betty Ford. Betty Ford changed what it meant to be a First Lady through her courageous and honest approach to stigmatized subjects. By being candid about her fight with breast cancer, she broke down barriers and inspired many women to put their health first. Following her battle with addiction, Betty founded the Betty Ford Center, which transformed addiction treatment and gave thousands of people hope. In addition, she was a strong advocate for women's rights, pushing for the Equal Rights Amendment and igniting national discussions on gender equality. Because of her openness and vulnerability, Betty became lovable and accessible, serving as a strong role model for advocacy and resiliency for coming generations. Number 2. Pat Nixon. Pat Nixon was a pioneer in promoting community service and volunteerism. Known as America's Ambassador for Goodwill, she substantially impacted public outreach and social projects. Pat traveled to 53 countries during her reign, making her the most traveled First Lady of her era. She encouraged Americans to participate in their communities in the United States by expanding the volunteer service program. Pat, a fervent supporter of historical preservation, played a key role in the White House collection's addition of more than 600 historic artifacts. People from many walks of life were moved by her kindness and modesty, and she left a legacy of commitment and devotion that now serves as an inspiration. Number 1. Laura Bush. Known for her quiet strength, Laura Bush instilled empathy and a sense of mission in the White House. She promoted education and literacy by starting the National Book Festival, which has grown into an annual event honoring reading and storytelling. As a former teacher and librarian, her Ready to Read, Ready to Learn campaign promoted reading in young children. In addition to teaching, Laura Bush promoted routine screenings and healthy lives to increase awareness of heart disease and breast cancer. Her international work included advocating for women's rights in Afghanistan, stressing the need for freedom and education. Through her work with the Bush Institute after leaving the White House, where she promotes global health and education programs, Laura Bush continues to inspire with her personable manner and commitment to worthwhile causes. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon